All right, if you're making 2022 all about making financial resolutions, we have some help to offer you to invest this new year. It's Senior Wealth Advisor Brad White. Brad, New Year's a great time to start some new habits for people. What are some suggestions to start building wealth right now?
Sure, yeah. So January is typically a good time to take a look at your portfolios and possibly make some changes. But I want to clarify what I mean by that. Okay. There's some people out there that are professional traders, professional investors. They make changes all the time. But for the other 99% of us, right, the average investor, you should not be making changes all the time. You should not be reacting to an article or anything that says, hey, now that it's 2022, this is a brand new thing. Sell everything you have here. And completely change your focus, right? That's typically pretty dangerous. You want to be long-term investors. With that said, as a good long-term investor, you should have an idea of what your long-term profile looks like. And let's say as a hypothetical that your long-term way to get to your financial goals is a portfolio of 80% stocks and 20% bonds. That's what you've come up with. Well, guess what? 2021 was a really good year for stocks. So chances are now your portfolio is a little out of whack. It might be 90% stocks and 10% bonds. So you're not going to think about this stuff all year. Let's be honest. And while we are in this New Year's mode, right, while we're paying attention to this, use January as a good time to take a look at this real quickly and do something called a rebalance, right? It's just reset your plans, your picture, right, your portfolio in a way that it should look and then the way you want it to look. The other reason January is good to do this is for tax reasons. Because in your non-retirement account, a lot of times when you make these changes, it could be painful because you could be selling something with gains, and nobody wants to pay capital gains tax, although we're going to have to at some point in our lives. And if you're going to have to do it at some point, guess what? January, a great time because you don't owe those taxes for 15 whole months. And if you have something else that loses money the whole rest of the year, you can sell that. It'll wash out what you did in January anyway. So January, for a couple of reasons, a pretty good time to look at, make tweaks, and just kind of set that picture the way it should look like.
Okay, so get that rebalance in those non-retirement accounts, but this is also a good time to really pay attention to your retirement accounts. Both, you can look back at 2021, there are some things you can do, right? And I guess it's probably critical to set certain retirement accounts up correctly in January.
Again, the whole theme of this is, look, I'm no different than everybody else. All of a sudden I start paying attention to my, health, and we all kind of do this, right, in January. So let's use January to really set the retirement accounts and actually get the savings on autopilot. You're not going to want to think about this stuff the rest of the year. So make sure that the savings becomes on autopilot. A few things you said. One, you might think it's too late to make contributions for 2021. It's not on things like your IRAs or your Roth IRAs. You can still do that up until April 15th. For your 401ks and your company plans, what I mean by setting them is go in there, put 6% or 10%, whatever you can afford to save, just get that in there now, and it'll automatically happen the whole rest of the year. So it's a great time on all kinds of those retirement accounts to still do something for 2021 and to make sure that you're off and running for what you want to do in all of 2022.
Brad, we've got about a minute left. One thing I've read a little bit about, people I'm sure have heard, there's a good chance interest rates this year could be going up. What does that mean for our strategy right now? If we have some debt out there, if we have some equity in our home, should we be looking to refi right now? Should we be looking to lock in our mortgage if we're on an adjustable?
In a word, yes. Yeah, certainly if I'm in your shoes. So look, if you're looking for a theme as we hit 2022, it's kind of, on the heels of 2021, it's inflation. Okay, I think everybody feels that we know this is real and it's not going to stop anytime soon. Typically when inflation happens, interest rates rise, and our Fed has said they want interest rates to rise 3 times in 2022 and 2023. We've already seen it start. So if you've got mortgage loans you're thinking about or refinancing or something along those lines, if I was in your shoes, I'd be trying to just get that done and lock in rates right now before they probably creep up.
Senior Wealth Advisor Brad White helping us develop our financial fitness plan this New Year's. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you had a happy New Year's, and we'll see you next week, I think.
Yep. Thank you, Carlo.